Hi, my name is Sean Carson and I have a question for you. Have you ever been on your way to an exciting concert, a play, a festival, or some other big event in a nice city and found yourself driving around those one-way streets throughout a densely populated city and it seems like you're doing that for hours? In the end, you end up paying $20, $30, maybe even more just for a parking space that you're going to utilize for maybe 4 to 5 hours, if not a little longer. How many times does that put you in a bad mood before you even get to the event? This is an event you've been planning for days, weeks, months, sometimes even longer. Does it seem odd to anyone but me that we have to reserve everything ahead of time? Hotel, dinner, tickets for the event, and then we just drive down and kind of hope that we find a parking spot at a reasonable price in the spot that we want. Seems like a lot to just leave to chance. Well, I'm here to tell you I know how to fix that problem for you. So how do you do that, you might ask me? It's actually very simple. Through our new, innovative company, ParkIn. ParkIn is a brand new company that connects people with parking spaces to people who need parking spaces. It aims to make life easier while wisely utilizing parking resources under a shared economy model. By connecting all of the property owners who have underutilized parking spaces and the everyday drivers who need to find parking spaces, we can create a mutually beneficial partnership. And this will come at a much more enjoyable experience with a much cheaper price. With our easy-to-use app, drivers can simply reserve the spot of their choosing, and property owners can make extra money from the property they already own and aren't using. By utilizing state-of-the-art technology like geolocation, parking space sensors, and regularly updated apps, ParkIn will make you forget you ever went through the difficulties of finding and paying a meter or a parking garage. This might all sound like it's way too good to be true, but I promise you it's not. Using the app itself is incredibly easy. Users will simply take their smartphone, whether you're an Android person, an iPhone person, or other, and search for your parking spots by date, time, and location. Once those three fields are entered into the filters, all of the results in a given area will populate on an interactive map. That map that will show your location and the parking spot's location. This gives our users the ultimate ability to choose exactly where to park and know exactly how much it will cost for that specific day and time. Once you actually drive out there, our state-of-the-art parking sensors will monitor the exact time that you occupy the spot to ensure that you're not being charged too much or too little. Now, for our parking space owners, every parking space request will be sent directly to your phone in the form of a push notification. This will allow the owners to see exactly who is requesting to use the space, when they want to use the space, and what their user reviews are. This really gives landowners the ability to decide who uses their parking space, because in the end, that is their land and we want them to feel safe. This app will really provide a faster, cheaper, and more convenient way for users to find an incredible parking spot for whatever occasion. This also allows the spot owner to gain some form of income outside of their 9 to 5 job without having any overhead costs associated. Simply utilize your phone, put your spot up for listing, and you can start making money. Here at ParkIn, we realized we had an incredible idea for a problem that most people didn't realize they even had. But before we moved forward and started developing this product, we had to do some research and verify that the market was there and the market was ready for this product. So to do this, we conducted a survey throughout the Washington area. This survey, we aimed to get over 100 responses and ended up with 124. The responses that we got were incredible and incredibly reassuring for us as a company. Of those 124 responses, over 46% of people said they would likely use our app at least once a month. Over 24% said they would use it on a weekly basis. And here's the best part. Over 11% of the entire conducted study said they would use it once a day. Those are people on their daily commute to work, school, who are fed up with parking and instead of using other ride sharing or public transportation would rather use ParkIn. The survey also told us that of landowners in the area, 33% would be willing to rent their driveways or underutilized property. That's an incredible start to get us the property we need in our inventory to ensure that we can match with our customers. And 17% of businesses surveyed said they'd be willing to partner with us because we all know they have extra space as well, so why can't we bring everyone together and make an incredible parking experience for you? With our study confirming all of our suspicions, it was time to look at the market itself to verify that it's large enough and has enough growth potential to support our business model. We first looked at a study by Markets and Markets, which predicted rapid growth in the parking reservation system market by 2020. At the time of the study, the market's value was estimated to be at $579 million. By 2020, it's projected to be a whopping $1.67 billion. The study also told us something that we did not expect, that approximately 40% of all traffic congestion in populated areas is due to people searching for parking spots. We went a little deeper to look at the growth potential, and we found that from U.S. Census data, larger southern cities have grown by 10% since 2010. Western cities, 7.8%. This confirms to us that not only do customers want and need this product based on our survey and the studies we looked at, but this market's continuing to grow. In addition, by reducing congestion in populated areas, we can help ease the stress of all drivers throughout the city, and we can help reduce the carbon footprint of the area. As we confirmed the market size and the rapid city growth in the southern and western portion of the states, we decided that these two areas would be the best places to begin operating, cities such as Denver, Seattle, and San Francisco. We will initially only operate in cities with populations of 500,000 or more. This will give us the opportunity to expand into the larger markets first before we spread into the smaller markets. Once we begin, marketing will be heavy and fast through social media, online advertisements, billboards, and anything else that we can do to spread the word about this incredible opportunity. Once we've successfully established a foothold in the market of our areas, word of mouth will become a large part of how we spread our user base, similar to companies such as Uber or Lyft, which I'm sure most of you use on a regular basis. As we continue, we will be able to reduce our marketing costs and focus solely on ensuring our app is up to date, our customers' information is secure, and our customers are being treated with the exceptional customer service that we promised. Now you might have to ask, how will you make money off of this? It's a very simple question and a very simple answer. As we expect hourly parking rates in cities to range anywhere from $6 to $12, depending on density and availability, we expect our initial contribution margins to be about 25%. We anticipate this for the first 3 years. This will help us cover the overhead costs and initial marketing costs, and that helps to ensure that the landowners profit as well. By the time we reach year 5 and we can reduce our marketing costs and lower our overhead costs, we anticipate that margin to be up to 30%, and it will continue to increase as we lower costs. Now, any savvy investor would likely ask, are you sure nobody else is already doing this? Unfortunately, the answer is yes. Our most direct competitors are also app-based companies, known by ParkWiz, ParkMobile, and SpotHero. Each competitor has a similar focus: reservation and on-demand parking in densely populated areas and certain hubs such as airports. So you may ask, what makes ParkIn different if you've already got competitors in this industry? Well, with research, in these growing markets, we found that these companies have focused strictly on acquiring more spaces. What they have lost focus on is customer service and reliability. If you take a trip over to your iPhone or your Android app store and look up any of these companies, you'll see plenty of negative reviews about their reliability and their customer service. These companies also fail to put enough emphasis on marketing and expansion. As a result, they're not very well known. As we've mentioned some of the competitors in this industry, and also mentioned some of their weaknesses, it's important to relay the strength that ParkIn has and how it will develop a competitive advantage. As we start, we will rapidly market and build a strong customer base. By doing this, we will be developing a first mover advantage in the industry. While we're not the first in the industry, we've already mentioned that the competitors have failed to make a national or international name for themselves. We will be the first one to establish a household name throughout the nation. For those customers who are already using our competitors' apps, switching costs are non-existent. Customers will find no barriers, no hurdles to switch over and start using ParkIn. the far superior application. For those that switch, and for all the new customers, ParkIn offers a loyalty rewards program. Every time you park, you get points. That adds up, and that gives you discounts on parking, free days of parking, and more to be announced. Customer perception is another major advantage for ParkIn. By focusing truly on the customer and providing a real customer-oriented experience. By focusing on the customer, we can take advantage of the biggest weakness of our competitors and set ourselves up a step above those competitors. And finally, by focusing on global responsibility through minimizing traffic congestion and through bringing people together, we will show the world that we're not only here to make a profit, but to make the world a better place. So now that I've told you the basics about our plan, I want to introduce you to the incredible team behind ParkIn. ParkIn's a Seattle-based company, founded by Mauricio Del Carpio, Yaron Yedidia, Weston Lundford, Nicole Maranova, and myself. As a team, we saw this problem with expensive and difficult parking in major areas, and we figured who would be better to solve this than us, because someone has to do it. With years of experience across the country and across different industries, this team is ready to change the landscape for parking. Ask, what do your startup costs look like? Well, they will be high initially, and that's due to a heavy requirement on technology and marketing. The beauty of that is those are upfront costs. Technology and marketing require maintenance, but those costs will drastically reduce once we have a strong customer base. Over the first 3 years, we expect startup costs to reach about $760,000. A lot of this is going to come from salaries, from advertising, and from cost of inventory. It may seem like a lot, but like I said, the outlook is quite optimistic. With some of our conservative revenue estimates, we anticipate break-even to happen in year 3, becoming fully profitable by year 4. The lean nature of this business really allows us to reduce debt and build profitability quicker than many businesses could. So what are the conservative revenues that we're forecasting? As you can see from the chart presented, by the first year we're looking at $100,000 revenue. Cumulatively, by year 3, $575,000. This continues to increase as we lower our overhead costs, all the way to the end of our 5-year revenue of over $2 million. So, as we launch, where do we see ourselves going? How are we going to handle these high startup costs? It comes from the revenues that I just presented to you and true confidence in our executive team, supported through thorough research and dedicated hard work. To give you a little plan on our milestones, we're going to launch our initial beta version October of this year. Through social media and marketing, in that first month we will gain 30,000 base users. This will give us a tremendous opportunity to adjust and tweak the application as needed. We then plan on launching a full version 1 of the software December of 2019. From here, we expect exponential growth leading to over 100,000 users by next May, less than a year from now. As we reach the end of 2020 and the beginning of 2021, we plan for a nationwide launch. This will then lead to international availability in 10 cities worldwide by August of 2021. We expect to reach our 1 millionth user by the beginning of January 2022. From there, we will have established our first mover advantage, and the sky will be the limit, because we will be the established leader in the parking service industry sector. Now in this pitch, you know there's going to be that point where we start talking about our valuation. And this is that point. Using a market multiple methods, using the 3-time multiple on the next 3 years of expected revenue, which we've already stated is $575,000, our initial valuation is $1.725 million. By using that same market multiple methods for our 5-year revenue, we anticipate 5 years our value to be $6.075 million. And now, what are we asking for? We're seeking investors who are willing to invest $517,500 for 30% equity in this firm. This figure is coming from that initial valuation of $1.725 million. Investors will be able to triple their investment at business exit with an expected valuation of $6.075 million. Throughout this presentation, we've given you all the details of our company, the problem that we're fixing, why we are superior to fix it, and the money that you can look forward to. So the only thing that I have to ask you, are you ready to join us on this incredible journey and change the landscape of the parking game forever? We look forward to working with you.